Hello folks, I was on my way home from Costco and heading to the house in Mountlik Terrace and realized we were kind of at a monumental, I don't know, history point in the light rail transit system that they're putting in from Northgate to Lynnwood. I was driving down the freeway and I thought this will never look like this again. So I'm shooting this video just to show you this moment in time. They've removed all the trees and they're in the process of making the ground solid so that they can move on to construction, I assume. So just a video that's probably boring in today's standards, but a couple years from now might be an interesting video. So Mountlake Terrace, Washington. I'm getting on the freeway at the Cloverleaf at the county line, right by Nile Country Club. I'll go up to 220th, loop around and do it again. I used to go to Melody Hill Elementary right at 220th and I-5, and that's now tore down and part of the project. So lived here all my life, and it's never looked like this, and it's never going to look like this again. So this is just kind of a moment in time, and off we go. So I'm going to cloverleaf around to northbound I-5. See if I can steady this a little better for you. I might have a vibrate. I'm on mount just for safety purposes. So, but here you can see this is completely different already. Coming up on the parking garage here, the tracks will obviously come right to this station. The trees that you see there in the distance above the walkway will be gone. They haven't brought those down yet. And as I go under here, the tracks will actually cross the top of the freeway from right about where that orange tractor is on the right. They'll go across over onto the west side of the lanes, and you can see the white tarp up there on the left. That's where it'll kind of come back in, or just prior to it. But this is never going to look like this again. It's never looked like this before. It started down in King County, obviously, and it's working its way north. So they're here in Mountlake Terrace, and it's just kind of interesting. I'll get off here at 220th and loop around, go back southbound for you. So the tracks will be on the east side of I-5 from Northgate all the way up to that parking garage in Mountlake Terrace, and then go across where I was showing earlier. So as I turn left here, after this light changes, the tracks would be right in front of me, where I'm going to get back on and go southbound. Definitely strange. So much has changed already. So right in front of me on the other side of that street light would be where the tracks will be. Right there is where Melody Hill Elementary used to be, where I went to school in 5th grade. I'm now 52 years old, so gives you a time frame. They tore down a couple houses right up there for this. Okay, getting back on southbound here. So the tracks would be on the right, which is why that hill there is all clear. They actually just had a water main break here about a week or two ago and flooded the freeway in this same spot. People had to drive through water. They hit a water main when they were removing the sound barrier wall that used to be there. So this is going southbound again. Here's where the tracks will kind of marry in on the west side of the freeway. Here's where they'll go across the top of the freeway. And again, there's the Mountlake Terrace parking garage, and where the tracks will come out, where that orange tractor is. And again, I admit it's not very unique right now. It's a slow process. It's different looking now that the trees are gone to me, but this will be different looking when the tracks are in. Again, there's the Gateway Plaza. There's the Cloverleaf I came around right up there with all the construction. And the view is quite nice because there's no tracks yet. I'm not really in favor of losing wide open air, but such is life as more and more people move to the area. I think what I'll do, I was going to cut this video off when I looped around again right here, but I think what I'll do is I'll go northbound again and show you some of this closer up towards Lynnwood, because it's drastically changed in the last 2 or 3 months too. So here's where this video started. So this will be a little bit repetitive for the next 1.5 or 2 miles. Maybe you can pick up on something you missed the first time, so I'll leave it rolling instead of shooting a second video. Again, here's over here. Definitely a different look. State Route 104. So the tracks will be visible from here, obviously, above ground tracks. And of course we get to play with a semi here. They just recently changed this from a 1 lane with a carpool lane to 2 full-time lanes. Part of the changes. So the tracks will leave the station, like I mentioned earlier, and cross the freeway. I apologize for being repetitive. I just decided I'm going to continue on to Lynnwood to show you some of the differences. Here's where they just broke out. I'm going to get over in the other lane so I can film some of the west side of the freeway after we get north of 220th. Alright, so picking up where I left off when I looped around. There's that Melody Hill complex. Now up here is really weird. This is why I kind of decided to keep the video going. In fact, I'll zoom it in a little bit. So all the trees over there have been removed. This is really odd. That used to be a full forest over there. A friend of mine owns Big E's Brewery, and now you can see the back of it since the trees have been removed. So here's where it gets weird. I'm going to switch out to the passenger window here. Look at that. So different. You used to never be able to see those neighborhoods right there. So different. And there's my buddy's brewery right there, actually, that I was just talking about. Big E's Brewery. Now a word from our sponsor, I guess. So I'll loop around once more and head back to 220th just to kind of give you the whole perspective in the Mountlake Terrace area here. Up here is where Black Angus restaurant used to be, and Chevron gas station, Levitt's Furniture. There's a blast from the past. All been removed, all been tore down. The Chevron station was a regular old-fashioned station. Then they tore that down and remodeled it, and it was a new gas station with a little convenience store for a while, and then they tore that down and remodeled it again, and now it's been tore down and removed. So sometimes money over matter, I guess. Progress, they call it. So that's right up there, is where everything got tore down. And there's the major park and ride. So getting back on here again, kind of a weird perspective. So this used to be all trees on the right, just like it is here. Couldn't really see through the trees, and now they're all gone. And then it's going to be a raised roadway, or railway. R&R Star Towing just moved. They were right there, and they moved into a different complex. This is all really kind of surreal to me after living here for 52 years. I've never lived anywhere else. This is crossing 52nd. Up there on the right, you can see the access roads that they've made. Right here, they tore down 3 houses in a cul-de-sac, which was right here, actually. So that used to be a cul-de-sac with 3 residential houses in it that they removed. Boring video today probably, but later on down the line, pardon the pun, this will be a piece of history video. It will never look like this again. They still got stumps piled up here, all been cut down, and that brings us back to 220th. Well, long live Lynnwood, Edmonds, Mountake Terrace, Briar. And here's a changing moment in our lives, especially for those of us that have lived here all of our lives. Thanks for watching the video. Have a good day.